housing affordability and financial structuring when you're doing a home purchase. This is one topic I love to death. I think I must have put more videos on this particular topic as compared to many other topics. And so let me be very clear. I came here in the US in '99, almost empty pockets. Within 1 year, I bought my first condo for $388,000. That time, that was a peak of the market, October 2000. I bought that home at 8.25, 5-year arm. Today, we have a 5% 5-year arm. 8.25 5-year arm with just $25,000 of my own money. A $388,000 property for just $25,000 of my own money. If I could put it together as a 1-year new immigrant into the US, I bet there are lots of you that are way qualified and way stronger than me from those days. And not just that, the financial products that you can get today have evolved dramatically. The number of financing sources, the 5% down payments, the 10% down payments, the 15% down payment, you don't have to have 20 or more in down payment for anything under $2.5 million. For even more than the $2.5 million, there are some lenders that will go ahead and give you a less than 20% down payment mortgage. Not just that, there is a lot of creative financing that I have been able to help my clients structure by sending them to lenders where the lenders give them a loan or a line of credit against their investments. We are here in Silicon Valley. A lot of people are employed at Google, Netflix, Cisco, Broadcom, you name it. I'm not even naming a lot of them. And a lot of people have a substantial amount of RSUs or restricted stock units in their portfolio. So what that does is they have the money, but if they tend to sell that stock, they have to pay the taxes today on capital gains. And so that makes, even though they have a chunk of change sitting in their accounts, they cannot access the money because they are locked due to the fact that they have to pay taxes today. And so all that money that is lying into their accounts is kind of useless. So my job then becomes to help them find where their money is, how to unlock it, and how to deploy it. All this by not letting them get into a very high tax situation. This I learned very early on, about 12 years back. I had a client who was working for a very reputed biotech company here in the Bay Area. I helped him buy a property in top school districts. So obviously that was almost $2 million. At that time, a very high number. It was one of the highest sold properties that I was doing during that year. And so he goes out and sells stock worth $350,000 or $400,000 because that was what was required as a 20% down payment for the $2 million property. Boom. In April, he calls me and he says, Amol, I have a $170,000 tax bill. I have no idea where I'm going to bring this money to pay this. And so then That was my learning lesson. So of course, I am not a lender. I am not your financial advisor. I am not your tax consultant. It is a very multidisciplinary thing. But what happens is that when I am helping my clients and they go through these situations, it's an epiphany for me at that time. And then the way they structure their transactions, I can at least tell you that there is a way I can help you structure. You don't have to sell your entire stock. And so for people that are in NVIDIA and they have 10 million plus in stocks or $25 million in stock, and then they have to sell that stock, and then that causes a huge tax bill on them, this is one of the strategies to do. Additionally, structuring down payment is a very, very important aspect. And reach out to me if you want to get access to the calculator. Paste in the link below, or call me or email me. Reach out in any way. I'll give you an access to my online web platform, myhouser.com, which will help you enable doing these calculations in a few keystrokes and empower you to make decisions about how to structure financing. And that is the other thing that I thrive on. So I get some people that say, oh, I have 25 million sitting in my bank account. Yeah, 25 is a pretty high number, and so they don't care about mortgage, they don't care about the monthly mortgage payment, they don't care about how much they buy the home for, they don't care about how much taxes they have to pay, or we might think like that. At every level, we have investments, we have expenses, we have our lifestyle that we have to fund at that point. And so when I help these clients, what happens is taxation comes right front and center. And I tell them that, guys, if you did not buy a property with all the amount of tax bill that you are paying, with the kind of inflation that is eating up your money, you should be thinking of putting most of your money in your house. Now, what I mean by most is the smallest allocable money. Like, if you can get a financing for 20%, please go get the financing for 20%. Don't go and put your 50% down payment. Because if you put your 50% down payment, you are taking your money and inflation starts eating into your money. Guess, inflation today is 3%, but we have seen the inflation be 8% as recent as COVID years, right? So what that does is that every year, if you have $1 million and the inflation is at 8%, your $1 million become $920,000 the next year, the effective value of it. Now, if you go and borrow this $1 million and you have your money in your pocket and you go and invest it at a better return, and the lender's money, you're still going to pay the lender only $1 million in spite of the inflation making that value look like 920. You're only paying that $1 million from today's value. And when you do that, your own money is safe from inflation. So if you refer to my previous video, mortgage, a killer, or a wealth building strategy, I have discussed these aspects in detail. So today we'll focus on just structuring the finances. So go with the most minimum possible down payment. It does two things. It gives you leverage. What do I mean by leverage? With 20% down payment, say $1 million property, you only pay $200,000. Now suppose the $1 million property grows at 5%. How much is the growth? $50,000 per year. How much did you pay as down payment? $200,000. So if you take that growth of $50,000 and count it on the $250,000, you are growing 25%, not 5%, 25%. So what is the simple equation? So the leverage is 5x, like you put 200K, you buy a $1 million property. The leverage is 5x. So that 5x number multiplied by the growth, which we considered as 5%, that becomes 25. So your money is growing like at 25%. How many people can show me a consistent growth of 25% in the stock market? How many NVIDIAs will it take for you to get 25% every year compounded? That's the beauty of buying a home on a mortgage. So that's one. But at the same time, what I also try to emphasize is take a mortgage in such a way that it reduces the rate at that point, so that you don't actually pay the interest that hardly on that. So suppose you have NVIDIA stock of just say $2 million and you are buying a $2 million home. What you do is you borrow against this NVIDIA stock and put that $200,000 to buy this $1 million property. NVIDIA stock will keep performing the way it performs. So now what are you doing? You have the NVIDIA stock in investment, you have this home in investment, and you have your own cash that you put in only as down payment. So you are controlling the home, living in it, getting the appreciation on it. You are controlling the NVIDIA stock on the other side, and between all of this, so your asset is the NVIDIA stock and the home, both at the same time. And this mortgage that is in your portfolio, that's also with you. I know you are going to say, but Amol, I'm going to pay interest on it. Yes, we are paying the interest because that gives you the access to money. Interest is not interest paid. It is the cost that you pay to access the money from your locked up investments. So just now at the beginning we said that they have a lot of stock and that gets locked up because if you want to bring it out, you pay taxes. So will you be happy paying taxes or will you be happy paying the interest? And that interest that you pay is tax deductible because it is against the investment that is sitting in your account. The investment is growing, so the income that comes out of it, this expense that you do is again tax deductible. So there is a lot of this play that you should figure out. I know a lot of you have money to buy a home full cash and you think buying a home full cash, you don't have to make any mortgage payment, so that's your least risky option. It's the complete flip of that. You need to have your money near your chest. That is like your jacket. That is what should give you warmth. The day that it is cold outside and snowing, that jacket is going to come handy. And always remember that. The more money you have, the more assets you control, the more you are in control, not the lender. So, I'll highly recommend, if you are not leveraged and you are not doing your financing this way, sit with me. I can help you do your models. Feel free to comment below on this theory and we can definitely sync up if you have challenges understanding these concepts. If you like this video, and these concepts, please hit subscribe and share this video. Thanks for watching. See you on my next one.